If you do not understand white supremacy, which is racism, or racism, which is white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you.
Welcome back, world, and welcome back to another episode of Politics, Economics, the Struggle to Survive in America. I'm your host. My name is Jerrald President, and this one is just going to be a very simple one. This show I'm going to talk about the members of the Forbes 400 hold more wealth than all U.S. black families combined. I'm going to say that again. Members of the Forbes 400 hold more wealth than all U.S. black families combined. Did you understand that? 400 people have more wealth than 44 million people. 400 people. That's not even 1%. That's not even that's less than 1/10 of 1%. Yet you know what we do? We act like we have something. We really continue to act like we have something because we drive in a fancy car. Think of this. You live in a country that would give you a loan to buy a $75,000 car. They give you and allow you to buy a $75,000 car. Yet that same bank won't give you a loan of $500,000 to $1 million to start a business. The same system that enslaved our ancestors for centuries, and then after freeing them, instituted Reconstruction and Jim Crow, and continued that same white supremacist system for another 100 years. 400 families, 400 individuals have more wealth and more than every black person. And they're going to say, how is that possible? Well, you got to understand, the 1790 Naturalization Act excluded you from being a citizen, which means you couldn't attain wealth because the land ownership allows you to have wealth, not money in the bank. The control of the resources. Well, we was denied that. We were denied that. The largest landowner in the United States is a guy named John Malone. He owns in excess of 2.5 million acres. Think of that. 4 people from the land report have more land than all the black people combined. So I work with people who always think that we have money. I have a couple of individuals that would tell me constantly, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Now, these always are immigrants. I want you to understand something. These are always people who immigrated to America after 1965. You got to understand, 1965, the United States changed the immigration policies and started letting people from the South and Central America and Caribbeans to come to America, immigrate. You understand? That was, again, it's always tied to harming descendants of slaves. Always tied. So they flood the nation with people from all these different areas who are not steeped in the history of America. And they refuse to even comprehend what I am and what others like me try to illuminate to them. 400 people, more wealth than all of black people in America. Yet they will give you the glitches in the system, the alleged celebrities, entertainers, and politicians, and preachers, and certain executives of corporations that has ascended to that so-called proverbial elite status. 400 people, more wealth than 44 million, 45 million people who look like me or have my complexion. Yet, you'll see us on a Saturday, Saturday night, right now, down here in the United States, in the state of Florida, and in Miami, all the black people are gathering, spending all their money to go to what's called Jazz in the Gardens. And I'm not knocking that. You know, what I knock is we don't never show that same energy when it comes to trying to make children understand this white supremacist system and that we should be holding our money and doing everything we can. I'm a hoarder. I hoard silver. I don't believe in any of that other stuff because I want to be able to pass something to my children. That's my belief. I don't believe in the stock market because the stock market on 5% of the population controls 97% of all the money that's tied up in the stock market. But right now, they're partying. They got dressed up. They at the Jazz in the Gardens. Oh, they having them a good old time. Well, in previous episodes, I showed you there's no money in Miami. If you're from Miami, you are abject impoverished. But you can't tell because they have a fancy BMW. They drive a Mercedes-Benz. But the homes have no value. The homes have no value. The average home value in Miami is $141,000. Let that sink in. The average home value in what Jazz in the Garden is in Miami Gardens. That's where I'm from. The average home value is $141,000. Let that sink in. This is 2019. Let that sink in. 2019, the average home value is $141,000. 400 people have more wealth than 44 million people. Yeah, we partying. We're partying. They have a show called Love and Hip Hop in Miami. And they always showing you all these so-called black people. The reason why I say so-called because they don't even know what they are. But they're on TV faking the funk. They're faking the funk like they have something. And they're always showing you South Beach. South Beach is not Miami. That is an international city that was propped up so they can bring tourists there. We were not even allowed there because when they have Memorial Day, you know what happens? All the black people come down and congregate on South Beach and get arrested because the white folks don't want them there. They don't want them there. Now, these are the rich white Latins. These are also descendants of slave owners. They don't want them there. They don't want them there. The city of Miami Gardens is spending all this money to have all these black people come and be entertained. To be entertained. In my last show, I showed you, in the words of the great Malcolm X, show me a white community that uses a celebrity as their leader. It's only black folks that do this. Because we was always only brought here for two purposes. Work for free and to be the entertainment. That was it. There was no in between. Which is why they excluded you in their constitution. They said we could only be 3/5 of a person. Now they said that was only for voting purposes. Well, we all know what that meant. We had no rights. Going all the way up to Plessy versus Ferguson. And the Dred Scott decision. We could not be part of the fabric of this nation, even though the first noted person that was Christopher Addicks that was killed in the revolution. You understand? We've been here. We've always been here. We've always been here. But yet we want to be entertained. Now I don't want to sound like I'm knocking black folks. What I'm knocking is we don't understand. They are leaving us behind. And we keep wanting to dilly-dally with one another and playing these fucking games. 400 people, more wealth than 44 million people. My previous episode, I illuminated 26 people having more wealth than 3.8 billion people. Do you understand what that means? We don't have nothing. And we keep playing this game and we keep lying to our kids. Go to school, get an education. Well, we got all the education. We got more education than we've ever had, according to what the white supremacists call education. And it has not benefited us. Why? Because you cannot, and your oppressor will never allow you to jump over them. Or they'll let you come in the room, but you're not going to be in the room. You are in the room, but you're not in the room. Do you understand what that means? Let me highlight it. That means you're sitting in a chair, but you can't speak. You can't draft or craft policy that's going to benefit people who look like you. But you're going to be in the room. We're going to give you some money. We're going to let you In the words of Dr. Claude Anderson, get your meritorious manumission papers. But your ass will never, ever, 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 ever step over my descendants, because my ancestors came and conquered this land, and you, boy, gonna always be in your place. So again, I want you to understand this. Members of the Forbes 400 hold more wealth than all U.S. black families combined. You think it's a game? You think it's a game? Well, go talk to your parents to see what they leave in your ass. Go talk to your parents. See, that's the problem. Your mama and daddy ain't talking to you about this type of stuff. Your friends, you ain't talking about this. So instead of talking about LeBron James, instead of talking about Peyton Manning and the NFL, instead of talking about what you hit a lick for, start being honest with yourselves. Because once we start being honest with ourselves, we'll understand. Hey, man, it's not the proverbial complexion called race. No, it's a literal race. And right now, they are on that 99 3/4 line. And you know what we are? We're not even on the 1 yard line. That's how far we got to go. Once again, you can always reach me on JerraldPresident.info. You can get me on Facebook. You can hit me on Instagram. And I just always want to say thank you for everyone who's purchasing Descendant of the Slave t-shirts, because we have to embrace what has happened to us in the United States of America. In the United States of America, stop sticking your heads in the sand. And be honest with yourself and realize, because what's going to happen when your ass turn 50 years old, 60 years old, and then you start realizing, reevaluate your life, and you're going to say to yourself, well, I don't have nothing. I don't even have an insurance policy for my children. Wait a minute, I ain't got nothing to leave my children. You know what you're going to leave them? Debt. You know what you are going to leave them? Your kids being confused. So in the words of Mr. Neely Fuller Jr., if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is, everything else will only confuse you. Peace.
Trashman didn't get my trash today. Oh, why? Because they want more pay. Buses on strike wanna raise and fare so they can help